Greetings, YouTube. This is Yvette. Welcome to our channel where we have stepped up in the kingdom. We are here. We have landed and we ain't going nowhere. You guys, I could not wait to get back from my volunteer job today because I'm telling you, stuff been happening in the spirit realm. There's been some fighting going on in the kingdom. So remember, I told you guys that on Monday, that the guy that runs the warehouse said something really, really, really inappropriate to me. And I just said, I looked at him and I said, I didn't have no smile, no frown, no nothing. And I said to him, I'm telling your wife. And because this guy's married and he said something so inappropriate to me. I in the inside, yes, I was shocked, but I think I was so kingdom focused that wasn't, it didn't phase me. And so his response was, you didn't blink an eye, you didn't do nothing. And I'm so glad that I did not blast this dude. I'm so glad that I did not offend him, because let me tell you what happened after this. So it's been a whole bunch of stuff going on. So in our house, we're remodeling our home. We have some really nice furniture here. It's white furniture. It is beautiful. And the tables, glass tables with these white stone bases, they are beautiful. And we were gonna consign them, and that didn't work out. And so then we were gonna give them to a neighbor that said they were gonna buy a house. I was like, oh, okay, well, you can have our furniture if you want it, because it would look nice in their house. And I've told you about this. This neighbor decided she gonna donate some of the pieces. I'm like, what? No, I didn't want my stuff donated. I could have donated it myself. And I told her that it is very rude of you to get something from me and then turn around and donate it. And the way she looked at it was, you gave it to me, I can do whatever I want with it. But she's not understanding our culture. We don't do that. I told her it's offensive when I give you something and you turn around and you donate. I said it's offensive to our people. We don't do that. So she was so angry. And I'm telling you something, I didn't feel good about giving it to her. I didn't. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good. And so it so happened that I believe the Lord stepped in, and they were so angry that I didn't want them donating any of the stuff. They said, well, then fine, you can have it back. They gave me back my tables, dropped them off at my home, and set my couches out on the sidewalk like they were trash, because it was the trash day. Was we put our trash out yesterday, leaving us, me and my daughter, to move our couches back up here, which is like 3 doors down. You know what? God was working it for us all the way around. We went across the street, asked the neighbor who just moved in, and it so happened that the day that this man bought the house, I introduced himself to him when I saw him. Just a sweet young man, and he's nothing but respectful. Asked him to help me, and he was like, let me ask the next door neighbor, the one that lived next to him. He went and got the other guy, and I met them too, and they just had a new baby. He's 3 months old now. So sweet to us without even thinking about it. They both agreed to go down with us and get the furniture. So I hooked up the trailer, went down there. They loaded it. It's in our driveway right now. Wasn't a problem. Even though my neighbor was acting up, I'm telling you, we talking about favor from God, the kingdom. Look, don't leave the kingdom, y'all. Get in the kingdom. Quit all that Christian stuff that's going on. And when I say Christian, I mean where you guys are going to Christian churches and they don't teach you about the kingdom of God. Listen, you guys start learning and you start sharing it with your people. Because I know I have people in church that I love and I adore, but I have to help my brothers and sisters see it a different way. Because when they're living that Christian standard, you cannot receive the kingdom because you don't understand it. So then Monday, the guy said something inappropriate to me. Yesterday, I went to my volunteer position. Everything was cool. I still treated him the same way as I always do, and he is just so cool to me. There is another group that I used to volunteer with, and they didn't like me, so they got rid of me. They didn't want me because I kept complaining about they get food and stuff donated, and they start holding on to it. And I'm like, that stuff is already got expiration dates. We need to put it out. But they were hoarding it for themselves and their little best friends, and rats were getting into it, and it just wasn't sanitary. So they decided they didn't want my help anymore. It's easy to get rid of me because I was the one making the thing about, rats, and showing them the rat droppings and this is rat teeth. This ain't no squirrels. These are rats with razor sharp teeth. So they got rid of me. It so happened that there was another group there that was also working that I had made a connection with, and they were giving me sandwiches anyway for the homeless people. So the homeless people were getting fed. God was making a way for them to get fed. Well, then this other group, the ones that fired me, they couldn't do every day of the week, 5 days a week. So they dropped 2 days a week. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, I picked it up and I go to the warehouse and pick up stuff. Well, about a week ago, the lady finds out that I'm going, which she knew, but she didn't know I was getting things from both sides. They are trying to block me from being able to go to the warehouse, period. So what I found out today, and this is me doing my thing and out there praising God and letting the people know that it's him that brings the food. So the whole time I'm just doing my volunteer stuff, it's people in the background got the enemy using them to start stirring up some stuff. So they call the warehouse and tell the warehouse that I am not a nonprofit and that I should not be in the warehouse and don't let me in the warehouse. So some lady from the office goes to the same guy, the warehouse manager that was inappropriate with me with his words the other day. And they tell him, Yvette can't come in the warehouse. And he told her, Yvette can come in. Hold on a second. My phone is ringing. I got to take this. That phone call was the other people from the group that gives me food, and they're telling me that they left some stuff in for me in the cooler. And I'll go over in about an hour and a half and go get the rest of the food that gets delivered for the day. I get plenty of food to take out to the homeless. But this other group called in and complained about me. Don't let her in. She's not a nonprofit, and this is what they're saying. They don't know what my business is. And then the warehouse manager is told by the office staff, yeah, don't let Yvette in there. And you know what he told them? I'll let Yvette in here if I want to. She's feeding the homeless. And so then he comes to me. He said, they told me that you needed to have your nonprofit. I said, well, I have one, but I just didn't pay my fee to renew it. So I said, I'll just do it. And so he's like, yeah, just get it to me. Yeah, just take care of it and get it to me. You guys, I have favor all over the place over there. So the warehouse manager on that side makes sure that I get the stuff for my people. He's going to let me continue to come as long as I do my nonprofit, get my piece of paper together. And then on the other side that has some different stuff, they have a little more gourmet stuff. I was over there today and some lady from the other group shows up and she thinks she's going to get the stuff. Well, my guy over there, the other warehouse side, he took and he knew what was going on with them trying to take stuff from me. And because I kind of alerted him, look, they're doing some stuff and they knew it was some weird stuff going on. He said, Yvette, I tucked your stuff away. So they couldn't get it. And it just so happened I got there and the girl shows up after I'm all loaded and I'm talking to the guy at the warehouse. And he went over and told her, no, Yvette's got it today. And then we had a conversation with the manager. I talked to the girl too. And I told her, no, you guys do Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I have Wednesday, Thursday. She didn't even argue because, she was looking real stupid because they were not letting it go. Then the guy at that warehouse tells me later, Yvette, we're going to give this to you. We know we already got this set up for you. You guys, it ain't been nothing but favor. Nothing but favor. But let me tell you something about the kingdom. Matthew, let's go here, 11 and 12. Talks about, I'm going to use the Amplified Classic verse. And from the days of John the Baptist, this is what Jesus says, until the present time, the kingdom of heaven has endured violent assault, and violent men seize it by force. And it's in parentheses, as a precious stone. A share in the heavenly kingdom is sought with most ardent zeal and intense exertion. Let me tell you something. You have to get in the fight because the kingdom of God the darkness knows about this kingdom. They don't want us in the kingdom. The enemy does not want you in the kingdom. I learned you can be a Christian all day long because a Christian doesn't know their rights in the kingdom. You guys get in the battle. So Judges, the 5th chapter, when the children of Israel were supposed to be fighting, listen, Deborah went with them. So this is Judges 5, and this is the song she has. And I'm going to start at the second verse, and I'm going to kind of skip around. It says, for the leaders who took the lead in Israel, for the people who volunteered for battle, bless the Lord. And then I'm going to do a different one because I highlighted my verses on my phone. Hold on. And then I'm going to jump out to number 4. Yahweh, when you went out of Seir, when you marched out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled. The sky also dropped. Yes, the clouds dropped water. The mountains quake. The mountains quaked Yahweh's presence, even Sinai at the presence of Yahweh, the God of Israel. So this is Yeshua. This is Jesus coming out to fight for the children of Israel. And when he came out to fight, the earth came out to fight as well. And then he says, I'm going to skip down to verse 9. My heart is toward the governors of Israel who offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless the Lord. And it says, far from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, they will rehearse Yahweh's righteous acts, the righteous acts of his rule in Israel. Then Yahweh's people went down to the gates. Verse 13, then a remnant of the nobles of the people came down. The Lord came down for me against the mighty. Those whose root is in Amalek came out of Ephraim. After you, Benjamin, among your peoples. Governors came out of Machir. Those who handled the martial staff came out of Zebulun. The princes of Issachar were with Deborah, as was Issachar. So was Barak. They rushed into the valley at his feet. At whose feet? The Lord's feet. Because God fights for us. Remember, we talked about how when you're in the kingdom, that the Lord fights for you, an army of angels. That's what we're talking about. Where am I at? Oh, what verse am I at? Let's see here. Those who's rooted, okay, Amalek, the princes of Issachar, they rushed into the valley. This is verse 15. They rushed into the valley at his feet. By the water courses of Reuben, there were great resolves of heart. And it goes, why did you sit among the sheepfolds to hear the whistling for the flocks? At the water courses of Reuben, there were great searchings of heart. Gilead lived beyond the Jordan. Why did Dan remain in ships? Asher sat still at the haven of the sea and lived by the creeks. Zebulun was a people that jeopardized their lives to the death. Naphtali also on the high places of the field. The kings came and fought. Then the kings of Canaan fought at Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo. They took no plunder of silver. So remember, at times when they were supposed to fight the other people, that they weren't supposed to take of the accursed things. They don't take their stuff because they offer their stuff up to strange gods and idols. Remember, they didn't take any of the plunder. Verse 20, from the sky the stars fought. From their courses they fought against Sisera. The river Kishon swept them away. That ancient river, the river Kishon, my soul marched on with strength. And then I'm going to go down to verse number 23. Listen to this. Curse Meroz, said the Lord's angel. Curse bitterly its inhabitants, because they didn't come to help Yahweh against the mighty. And then here's this woman. Jael shall be blessed among women, the wife of Heber, the Kenite. Blessed shall she be above the women of the tent. When Sisera ran into her tent and he asked for some milk, remember she got him some milk, but then she took the nail and the hammer and she nailed it into his head and killed him. So even the women fought. So listen, it is important in the kingdom that you get up and you go on the Lord's side and you just don't sit on the sidelines. I remember when I was married, actually, no, I was dating my ex, and he told me he was divorced. Oh, I'm just waiting for my final paperwork. So we start dating. Well, at some point I said to him, when are you going to see your daughter? Because he talked about his daughter. When are you going to visit your daughter? He said, well, when the Lord makes a way. I'm like, looking at him like, what are you talking about? When the Lord does it, you get up, go see your daughter. I even knew then that you need to be taking some steps toward, you walking in faith. You can't just sit down and say, oh yeah, I have faith, and you don't move toward it. So listen, get in the battle, because now you curse when you sit on the sidelines. You guys, we're taking the kingdom by force. We are fighting, all right? We join in the Lord in the battle because he's fighting for us. Let's be on his side, okay? Let's not just sit down and be like, oh, I'm gonna sit and wait. You remember when we were younger, and usually it was brothers and sisters and cousins or something. Somebody would start a fight with somebody else, and you got to go help them, help your people fight. And then you go fight, and they done took off running and left you. You know how mad that made us when that happened. It's like, oh, what? Now you see, cursed are you for sitting on the sideline, didn't even come to help the Lord. I don't want to be in that place, you guys. Fight for the kingdom. And it makes no sense for you not to, because you're victorious. I didn't hardly have to do nothing but continue to be persistent and come into that facility and getting that stuff. Not sitting down like, well, God, when you smooth the pathway and make everything good for me, then I'll do it. No, God said, I want my people fed. So you guys, listen. I know that you're going through stuff and things are happening, and it don't look like, it looks like it's an upward battle, because I will tell you, It's just me. But at that tent, they must have a good 20 people volunteering. And I think they have like three people that are in leadership, and they come against Yvette with full force. The woman who called today happened to be a Jewish woman that she hates Jesus and she can't stand me. It makes her really mad when she finds out I'm fasting. Oh, she's so against it. Who would be against somebody fasting? The enemy. She is so deep with Satan. And so it's interesting that she tried to come against me today, because I'm like, look, I'm gonna let them know. Look, I told you Jesus was gonna make sure his people got fed, that God would do that. He's going to do that. And I'm gonna give all the credit and the praise to Jesus. All of it. And hopefully they can work with me. It's like, if I get some extra stuff, I'll give it to you guys, because we can't use everything that they give me. But I'm certainly willing to share. But if they don't want it, I don't have a problem with that. It's other people to bless. I have my church to bless. There's people at my church. So we don't really have to sweat all of that, I'm going to sign off, but I was so excited to see how this battle is going on in the kingdom and how happy I am to be in it. And all you can do is be compassionate for the people. I now have to pray for my neighbors down the street who don't want nothing to do with God. And I have to pray for these people who they're supposed to be a Christian group. Even with the Jewish lady there, she knows they're Christian people. But they are coming against me. And even though I talked to them and told them, hey, I'm just feeding the homeless, they know I feed the homeless. They've known this for over a year. That's how I met them. So it's just interesting that they're trying to sabotage what the Lord has. But you see how you can't come against God's people? I don't care how many people they have down there, that you cannot be, it don't matter how many people you got on your team. You cannot be God. So I'm so glad I'm on the Lord's side. And yes, I'm in the fight. I'm in the battle. I'm going to keep on going strong. But I just thank God for favor. I'm telling you, favor all over that building. So there's a lady today, she gave me some food. She said, Yvette, I got some food. It's dated the 26th. So today's the 24th. She said, it's not even stale dated yet. Do you want that? Because the stuff I get usually is dated the very day. So today would be the 24th. So I'll get all the stuff from the 23rd and the 24th. So that's what I have. So I have stuff that's, because if it's a day old, it's still fine. So the 23rd and the 22nd and the 23rd is what I have, or the 23rd. Most of the stuff is the 23rd. Today's the 24th. So since the other group has already picked up their stuff, I'm now going to get the 24th for today. And she said, and I told her, I said, well, but the other group usually they get the preferred dates on today's date, and I take whatever they have left. She said, not if I give it to you, not if I want to give it to you. And this is what she did in my face. Not if I want to give it to you. And I was like, oh, Jesus. I wanted to start shouting right in the building. But, I had to hold it down. I was like, Lord, help me hold it. I was like, oh, okay. What am I doing? The Lord is trying to bless me. And I'm trying to say, oh, no. Bring it on. So this is new. This is new for me, receiving in the kingdom, because usually I'm giving stuff to people all the time. And even though this food is for them and it's not for me, I still feel like I'm a recipient. But look, I'm getting ready to start taking my blessings. Ain't no more of that shooing it away. But you guys, I want you to experience your blessings in the kingdom. And I want you to know that it happens everywhere you go. And my last thing I need to tell you, the guy that I was talking to, that he's been talking to me about this Black Israelite stuff, he was supposed to go up to some Black Israelite meeting. And I'm like, God, not that place. That means they're going to sell him a doctrine of hatred. They're going to tell him to hate white people, hate Asians, hate Muslims, and hate Jews. That's what they're going to tell him. And he tells me, so I see him today. I said, hey, how did your meeting go up there? What'd you think? He said, what? I didn't make it. My car broke down. I was like, I was so shouting in the inside. I was like, that's because God didn't want you to go. So I start talking to him about being in God's kingdom. I said, what does it matter what somebody else has? What does it matter what somebody does to you when you're in the kingdom? When you're in the kingdom, you got different protections. So he's a Black guy, and we all have this thing about slavery. We know how we've been treated as Black people. And we're not the only group that's been mistreated. But here in the United States, this is where we were brought. And you guys know our history, okay? So some people can't get beyond that. And they don't realize when you're in the kingdom of God, it's different. So this is what I'm trying to tell him. I said, while you talking about them having stuff, what does a white man having millions and billions of dollars have to do with you being in the kingdom? Even if they continue to oppress you, how can they oppress you if you're a king in a kingdom and you have rule and authority? And the king is the one who's giving you your power and your authority and supplying all your needs. What does anybody else matter? It doesn't. Are you guys getting this? It doesn't matter what anybody says to you, what anybody does to you, because when you are in the kingdom, they can say whatever they want to, whatever they want to. But remember, our king gave us authorities as kings and priests, authority, and he supplies all of our needs because that's the job of a king. All the blessings that he had for Israel, that is us. Everything he said that blesses them, that is us. Receive your blessing. You cannot receive your blessing when you're outside of the kingdom complaining about what's going on outside the walls. No, stay in your territory, and you're supposed to be enlarging your territory. Okay? All right. So you guys, I'm gonna sign off because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right. You guys take care. Listen, look up the videos for Dr. Miles Monroe. He talks so much about kingdom. I watched him 10 years ago. I couldn't receive it because I didn't understand. Ask God for wisdom, because I'm telling you, it's a kingdom. You don't hear Jesus talking about no religion in there. It's a kingdom. And don't tell me about John the Baptist. Oh, the Baptist, because John the Baptist was not the Messiah. He was the announcer. Okay? He was a spiritual Elijah who was announcing the coming of the Lord. So that's not an excuse to be a Baptist. And I'm not attacking groups. I'm just saying Jesus did not preach no religion. So you can call yourself whatever you want to be as long as you're in the kingdom. That's all I'm going to say. As long as you're in the kingdom, you can say whatever you want. All right. Okay. I'm signing off, you guys. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, because this is the channel where I'm telling you, blessings flow like crazy. So I know out there, some of you guys are being blessed. Okay. Because you guys are even encouraging me, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to hang up now, but, I'm blessed, y'all. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm loving this kingdom. I'm loving the kingdom. I'm loving the kingdom. There's no sorrow in the kingdom. There's no lack in the kingdom. There's no defeat in the kingdom. There's joy in the kingdom. There's peace in the kingdom. Listen, there's compassion. There's gentleness. There's faith. There's meekness. There's all the fruits of the Spirit in the kingdom. Get to your kingdom. All right? Bye-bye.